Hello? 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 Hello?
Test.
Hello? 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 Oh no, that's interesting. I just realized this. Does it matter that it's only coming through left and not right? Hello?
As usual, and go try to shout. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Test, test. Thank you, Carol. We have a new sound system today, and it's not working. So I'm the worst person to be up here because I'm not a projector, but I'm going to try. Can people hear me? Okay. Just give me a signal if you want to remind me. And we really apologize for that. I'm Catherine Severson. I'm the service coordinator for today. Welcome to today's worship service. We're grateful that you're here with us. Here at All Souls Church, our mission is to seek truth, practice love, and celebrate life. Whether you are joining us for the first time or you've been a member for a long time, you are welcome here. Whatever faiths you have known or not known, or whatever your heritage, you are welcome here. Whatever questions you hold, whatever truths you seek, whatever sorrow you have known, whatever joy has filled your heart, whoever you are and whomever you love, you are welcome here. And now for a few announcements. I'll highlight a couple of them. Might as well stand closer. So first, in your order of service, you should have this insert. This Thursday at 7 p.m., we'll have Brian Lotman, who's a wandering monk, giving a presentation or maybe some practices about awakening higher states of consciousness. And that's free to attend. It's free will donations, and encourage anybody to come if you can make it. And then next Sunday, September 28th, after the service, instead of circle time, we'll have Jen Dreisky from South Dakota Voices for Peace. This will be part 1 of her acclaimed bystander to upstander intervention training. Participants will become empowered to advocate for others by being equipped with skills to realistically disrupt incidents of discrimination and hate. Jen will educate us on microaggressions, apathy, and strength, while sharing with us how to use courage and bring victims of bigotry back into belonging. And then we will have childcare throughout that time for people with little ones. And then the part 2 will be scheduled October 5th, the next Sunday. And there's a QR code in the foyer if anybody wants to scan that and learn more. And then please continue to read our emails. You can sign up for those in the foyer. And finally, after today's service, people are welcome to join us downstairs for coffee and treats, and then we'll come back here around 11:15 maybe for circle discussion. Any others who have announcements? Oh, Carol. chalice lighting. For our chalice lighting, we'll read from number 444 in the gray book. I'll read the normal text, if you can read the italics. It's from Kenneth Patton. This house is for the ingathering of nature and human nature. It is a house of friendships, a haven in trouble, an open room for the encouragement of our struggle. It is a house of freedom, guarding the dignity and worth of every person. It is a house of truth-seeking, where scientists can encourage devotion to their quest, where mystics can abide in a community of searchers. It is a house of art, adorning its celebrations with melodies and handiworks. It is a house of prophecy, outrunning times past and times present in visions and growth and progress. This house is the cradle for our dreams, the workshop of our common endeavor. Okay. And then our first song is number 301. Okay, our first reading is number 664. I think. Yes. And again, I'll read the normal text and you can follow with the italics. From Sarah Morris Campbell. Give us the spirit of the child. Give us the spirit of the child. Give us the spirit, or give us the child who lives within. The child who trusts, the child who imagines, the child who sings. The child who receives without reservation, the child who gives without judgment. Give us a child's eyes, that we may receive the beauty and freshness of this day like a sunrise. Give us a child's ears, that we may hear the music of mythical times. Give us a child's heart, that we may be filled with wonder and delight. Give us a child's faith, that we may be cured of our cynicism. Give us the spirit of the child, who is not afraid to need, who is not afraid to love. Okay, and now I invite the kids to join me up front for a story. Just for the adults, I had a story that fit really nicely with today's theme, but Peter didn't like it. So we're just reading a book that Peter likes. Okay. All right. So today's book is called Dad's First Day by Mike Wonutka. Hi, come on up. This is Oliver, and this is Oliver's dad. All summer they played together, laughed together, sang together, and read together. When summer was over, it was time for Oliver to start school. Are you ready for school? Yes. The night before school started, Oliver and his dad got ready, packing lunch and getting his backpack ready. On the first day of school, Oliver's dad didn't feel well. His tummy hurts, he says. It's okay, Dad, you're just a little nervous. Come on, let's go. We don't want to be late for my first day of school. But Oliver's dad had a few things he needed to do before they left. Oliver's saying, come on, Dad, let's go. So Oliver's dad hid behind the couch. Oliver found him. He hid inside the closet. Oliver found him. He hid outside. Oliver found him and dragged him to the car. Oliver's dad drove very slowly. When they got to school, Oliver ran to his classroom and met his teacher. Then it was time to say goodbye. Giving a big hug. The teacher walked Oliver's dad outside. The teacher's actually carrying the dad outside. Oliver's dad drove home. How does he look? Kind of sad. He couldn't stop thinking about Oliver. He worried about Oliver. He missed Oliver, and his tummy really, really hurt. Then he realized, I'm not ready for school. Oliver's dad drove back to the school. He ran to the classroom. And just before he opened the door, he stopped. He couldn't believe what he saw. Oliver was playing. He was laughing. Then he was singing and reading. Oliver's dad smiled. Oliver and his dad were ready for school. Good job, Dad. After the first day of school, they celebrated until their tummies hurt. What are they eating? Ice cream. Yum. The end. That's it. Okay, and now we'll sing the children downstairs, or to go downstairs. Okay. In this congregation, we found it helpful to share the ups and downs of our lives by taking a stone. Can share if you'd like, and drop the stone in the water, and then the ripples carry our thoughts out into the world. There aren't enough stones in this bowl for all my concerns this week, so instead I'm going to choose joy, and my joy is just that I made it out of the house today, and I have this community to come be with once a week. That's important. So now if anybody wants to come share, come up.
is this a placebo mic?
It does stream to the live stream.
Oh, okay. Well, then we better use it so the live stream can hear. Yesterday was the 20th anniversary of the Mosaic downtown on between 9th and 10th Street, and it was a nice celebration. If you're familiar with that, it's down by the river, and the kid who first asked the question, why don't we show children's art in this town? And so he was there 20 years later, all grown up now. It was a very nice celebration. And next one, a week ago yesterday, Joy Hembold broke her wrist, but she's doing fine. In fact, she and Paul are on their way to Wisconsin and Virginia. And then John Hutchinson has been at Ava's house this week as respite for his wife Deb, who went to Omaha along with Jenny and the kids, and had a nice time until they got word that the dog back home had a seizure, so Deb cut short her time in Omaha and is back in town, and I think John is going home tomorrow.
I am picking a joy because even we talked about, the joy of a child. And in the back, Piper has been drawing things and then giving pictures to random adults. So I appreciate you all smiling and going, oh, how pretty, how wonderful. So that is my joy. And then a concern that I have is a friend of mine is going through the unfortunate event of every once in a while when young people are in love and then one of them panics because they think that maybe they're just doing things to make other people happy. I say young people, they're in their 20s, but they'll figure it out. But until then, it's a growing moment that they have to deal with all the anxiety and figuring out who you are with your partner and without your partner, and if you're actually happy or if you just think everybody else wants you to be happy in this. Oh my goodness, so tiring. But they'll get through it, or they'll get through it separately. Either way, they'll survive. So that is my concern and joy, and we'll figure it out.
Also, thank you for the picture. We really did enjoy it. We did. My husband even said, what is this feeling here? I'm not sure.
Just speak a little louder.
A little bit louder. Okay.
Yeah. The microphone doesn't work.
Oh, so just speak loud.
Well,
oh,
yeah.
Just in general, speak loud. I can do that. I'm a teacher. The joy that I have last night or yesterday all day, was our first marching band competition for both of my children are in that competition, and both my husband and I are part of the dude crew, the roadies that help them out. And it was a 14-hour day of loading and unloading and loading and unloading. But my joy is that both of the kids, starting from last May, have been a part of marching band camp, and they're learning all of the parts, and they got so frustrated with why is, our band director is so picky, and they got so frustrated, and not that it matters, but they did get first place in their competition. Yes, but more importantly, they, I think, saw the payoffs of their hard work, which is such a lesson to learn, that it took months to get here, but I think it just invigorated them to get excited again, and that hard work is hard work, and it does pay off. So that's a joy of mine, that not only did their hard work pay off, but that they're learning those life lessons too, which is always nice. Yes.
Hi, my name is Marcia. Can you hear me?
No, you have to shout. It's not
Really?
working.
Okay.
Well,
Okay. I had a little run of bad luck with both of my old cars over the last, 6 weeks or so. And there's one more repair that needs to happen, and then they should both be good. But I found a 4-leaf clover the other day, so I believe my luck is changing. And it's the 4th time I've found a 4-leaf clover. So
Good morning. Good to see everybody here. My name is Liz, and a couple of things. I want everyone to know my friend Susan in the blue hoodie has come from New Mexico to visit me. We've known each other for 20. Very long. Her and I had we met because we worked for a tech company in San Jose, and so we commuted together so we could drive in the fast lane. If there is such a thing on the 101, I'm not sure, but anyways, we were there. And so please give her a nice South Dakota welcome, if you would. And her first time in South Dakota, she did not know what she was gonna expect, but you know, we're all here and doing well. And the other thing is that we are getting a new roof next week on the church. So that is awesome news, so thank you.
I'll take this stone to celebrate the life of my colleague Steve Coram, who died on Wednesday. Steve spoke here, I think at least once, to obviously great acclaim, and he died from the complications of Lewy body dementia. So Steve had been my colleague for 25 years, and so when I think about it, it's a bit of a blur. But then I started thinking about specific things that have happened between us, and I have a flood of memories. Some of you may know one of the members of the family, Sean, his eldest son, who comes here from time to time. So I'm going to put this stone in for the whole family. His elder daughter, Joy Lynn, lives in Australia, and Julianne lives in the Twin Cities, and Scott lives here. So there are 4 children and his wife, Jill.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Sandrine.
Hi. I'm very happy to be here today. It's been a long time. I wanted to introduce my parents to the congregation. They are visiting from France. It's their first time here in Sioux Falls since we've been here for 6 years now. So please welcome them as you can. Their English is not great, but you don't need necessarily words to get to know each other. So yeah, I'm very happy to have them here, and thank you.
I'll put in one final stone, and then we'll take some time of silence and reflection to remember these things and what's in our heart. Okay, our second song is number 338. I Seek the Spirit of the Child. Please stand as you are able. Our second reading is number 649, From Generation to Generation. And now that I know there are French speakers here, I'm not going to try to say the name. And I'll read the normal text if you can follow with the italics. In a house which becomes a home, one hands down and another takes up the heritage of mind and heart, laughter and tears, musings and deeds. Therefore, we do not neglect the ceremonies of our passage, when we wed, when we die, and when we are blessed with a child. Let us bring up our children. It is not the place of some official to hand to them their heritage. Let us build memories in our children, lest they drag out joyless lives, lest they allow treasures to be lost because they have not been given the keys. Okay. And for today's message, we welcome Steve Hildebrand from Promising Futures.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me back. I always enjoy this. It's always an opportunity in the fall, which most people love and appreciate. It's been a hard year for a lot of us. I know I'm one of them. I do my best to get through each day and live with what's being handed to us without a lot of defenses, it seems. What's beautiful about coming here today and to be with you all is to again hear the mission of your church. And we so wish our world and our country and our state was more like the mission of your church. That's what we should be. That's what we should all thrive to be. So, in tough times, I like to think that every day we should put out and share just something, a big tidbit, a small tidbit. So today's small tidbit to share with you is there's a newer performer, singer, that I think is phenomenal and who sings a genre that most of us would appreciate, I think. You might have heard of him. His name is Calum Scott. Calum is C-A-L-U-M. He was on America's Got Talent or one of those shows. So if you just Google that and find him, he's incredible. And it just brings some joy. So that's my small tidbit for today, is just to share that with all of you. I think as we go through tough times and challenging times and stressful times, you got to look at just small pieces that we can share with others so that as you're scrolling through Facebook or whatever your actions are every day, it's not just all negative stuff. We got to get through this together by sharing good things, small things, big things. So a lot of you have heard me over the last 3-4 years as I've come here to share the work we're doing with the Promising Futures Fund. So I'm just going to give you kind of an encapsulation of where we're at. Every year we seem to grow. Steve doesn't stop thinking of programs to help kids. I don't really think of them. The principals are the ones who think of them. The teachers are the ones who think of them. And I work to go into the community and fund them and bring that money back to the schools to help fund whatever program we're looking at. So we started with elementary. We moved to middle school. We're now in high school. And now we're going back to birth. So as we develop some new programs, we will be an organization that is working hard to help kids in the Sioux Falls area from birth to high school graduation. The first program I'm going to talk about is still in concept, but we are going to implement it in the next year. As we work hard with reading in kindergarten, first, second grade, those early grades, where that third grade marker is so important for determining a kid's future. That they want kids to be able to read at grade level by third grade to help determine how they're going to do in the future. And while we're making tiny strides in improving scores in those early grades, we're not moving the needle like we need to. What principals and teachers have determined is that too many kids are starting kindergarten too far behind. They're not ready to learn. They haven't learned social skills to even be in kindergarten. They haven't learned vocabulary that they need to start recognizing words on a page or even hearing the word and understanding what that word means. And so if you go into these, especially the Title I schools, but I would say it's in every school, where kids haven't learned to socialize, they haven't learned the vocabulary that they need to start learning, there's 50, 60, 70, maybe 80% of those kids in that classroom who aren't ready to learn. And if you think about a teacher with 25 kids in their room, 25 if they're lucky, we have schools with 29 in a kindergarten classroom, which I think is a disaster for the school district. I should say it's a disaster for those kids. If a huge percentage of those kids are way behind, how does that teacher begin to instruct them, begin to learn that process? So what we want to do is go into the community with a big initiative. We want churches involved, we want daycares involved, we want service organizations to be involved, we want, the schools and so many entities to come together and say, we're going to work to help parents figure out how to build vocabulary in their children from birth to 5. The hospital systems are on board, starting at that birth piece. Sanford's already doing some really good work with their pediatricians. And I learned a lot from the pediatricians we met with at Sanford. But the idea is that we need to be more intentional. We need to have, at birth, even before birth, to have healthcare professionals talking to parents about the importance of using those years from birth to 5 to help their kids build that vocabulary. They're very credible people to be able to convey that message, that brain development is so important. We want daycares, and some of the daycares in town are doing great work helping kids build vocabulary. But what we want is for them to bring those parents in whose kids are in their daycare and say, this is what we're doing here, we want you to do it at home too, and give them the resources necessary. So a lot of the research behind building vocabulary is that while reading is very critically important, conversation and dialogue with your child helps them build vocabulary at a higher level. So if we take our kid to the zoo, it isn't just about shepherding them around and saying, here's the monkeys, here's the giraffe. It's saying, let's talk about the monkeys and have a conversation with that child. So while the child's having fun and they're getting to see all these fun animals, they're also hearing more words. They're having that opportunity to build that vocabulary. If they're going to the falls, let's have a box down there with cards in it that says, here's some things you can talk to your child about. Where's the water coming from? Where's the water going? Where do those rock formations come from? That kind of stuff. So it's not just going down and letting your kid run around. It's having conversations to help them build that vocabulary more. When you're in the car and your child's in the back seat, sing to your child, talk to your child. When you're giving the kid a bath, the same thing. Sing with them, talk with them, play with them. All of those things make a big difference. But we want to be more intentional about it. While some of it's out there in the ether, and I would say, sadly, more middle income and higher income families are more knowledgeable if that's what we should do. A lot of low-income families, a lot of immigrant families don't really know this stuff. They're living in chaos, they're working 2 jobs, they've got a lot on their plate. So we just want, people who matter in their lives, their daycare provider, their physician, their minister, those kinds of things, to put it in their ear. We need to build vocabulary. We want your kid to be ready to go to kindergarten, and there's intentional things you should do with your child before that. So we've got a lot to figure out. We have a lot more to learn. We have a lot to figure out how an initiative like this could actually work and that we would have an impact on families. So we're already in kindergarten. That's where we start, in elementary school. That's where we started. We do mostly literacy programs and field trips and experiences for these kids. So our Book a Month Club now has grown to 242 classrooms across Sioux Falls, 14 elementary schools. Every single kid in those 14 elementary schools get a book a month every single month for 9 months. It's a very big deal for these kids. The teachers love this program. And over the course of those 9 months, we will put out 50,400 books, which is something I'm very proud of. With field trips, we put about $225,000 a year into field trips into our elementary and middle schools, opportunities for them to get low-income kids out of their poor neighborhoods, to see cool things, fun things. We've started this wonderful literacy initiative with the zoo and aquarium, where every kindergarten, first and second grader in every single school in the district will visit the aquarium and butterfly house in the fall. The zoo mobile will come to their classroom, and the students will all go back and visit the zoo in the spring. For those visits, so they're not just going there, we went back to the schools and said, look, we know we're sending a ton of kids to the zoo and the butterfly house and aquarium on field trips. What are they doing when they get there? And the answer was, they run around and look at the animals. And I said, so they're not doing great in reading, but we're giving them a half a day off to go play at the zoo. And I said, why can't we do both? So it's a new literacy initiative that the education staff at the zoo and the curriculum staff at the district have embraced in a big way. There is brand new curriculum written for those 3 different experiences. So the kids will learn a curriculum. Promising Futures will provide a book related to the curriculum picked out by the school district. They will make the visit, and then they'll have an assignment to follow up. So instead of just the visit, they're learning at the same time. It's a thing I'm very proud of. We, in about a week, will start those trips to the butterfly house and aquarium. And right now it's all kindergartners. And then we're piloted in at a first grade, the first graders at Garfield Elementary. And then next year, first grade will be added to it. Then we'll pilot the second grade and second grade. So in 2 years, all 3 grades will have 3 visits. So by the end of the second grade, we will have gone 9 different times. But the literacy piece is, I don't know anything about writing curriculum, nothing. But I've gone to every curriculum meeting that we've had because it's so fun to watch the process of how they want. I mean, we've got some teachers here, retired teacher. But I don't know this stuff. But it's been so interesting to watch how the curriculum is built to educate these kids. So it's going to be a great one. In middle school, our biggest initiative that we do in middle school is our 8th grade college visits. We have taken thousands of kids now from 3 middle schools, McGovern, Whittier, and Ben Rifle, on college visits as well as technical school visits. So by the end of the 8th grade, every kid in these 3 schools will visit a college campus for a day and then spend a half a day at Southeast Tech. They're being taught what college is all about, what technical school is all about. They're being inspired to go. These trips are phenomenal. They are so inspiring for me because you go and you listen to these kids say, I could see myself come to a place like this. They are truly opportunities for kids to open their eyes to what's possible for their future. And a lot of these kids, you know, they might be at home with parents who say we can't afford college, so it's not a possibility for you. Or parents who say, you know, you don't need a college degree, you just need to go work. Those kinds of conversations. Or the kid might just not have the self-esteem to think that they're college material, so to speak. So these trips are meant for every single kid to be inspired that if this is what you want, you can achieve this. We started to look carefully at the rates of kids in the Sioux Falls School District going from high school graduation to either college or technical school. And the numbers are really low. We're much lower than the state average and the national average. And it has everything to do with poverty and immigration. And so we've been looking at a program in Washington, D.C., as well as a program in Cleveland, two of the best in the country for college access. And I've been hesitant to do this because it means hiring a bunch of staff, and it's a very expensive program. So we are now in Jefferson High School with a director of the program, as well as 4 college and career advisors who will do nothing but help kids in high school find their path to the future. It will be helping them with college pathways, technical school pathways, careers in the military, which most high school kids don't get a chance to really explore. There's phenomenal opportunities in the military, as well as opportunities to serve and then go to college for free, which is something most high school kids don't ever learn about. And then the 4th path is for kids who want to go directly into the workforce. We're going to work hard, very closely with the Career and Technical Academy that help kids establish a real career pathway directly into the workforce, not just hopping around from place to place. So I'm very excited about this. These 4 advisors are all very unique. They bring very different backgrounds and very different skills to work with these kids. But I'll tell you, when you talk to them and hear them say, you know, I met with these 3 girls today, 2 African American girls, a Hispanic girl, all who want to go to college, none who have parents who are supportive. Well, our folks are going to work with those 3, and if that's the path they want to take, we're going to make sure it happens for them. And that's something they haven't had. There's, across the Sioux Falls School District, and this is the case in most high schools, there are 6 counselors for 1,800 kids. And they're doing all kinds of work that has nothing to do with postgraduate success. They're doing some of that, but they don't have the time to sit with kids and say, you know, let's figure out what you want to do, what you want to be, and then let's set you on that path. Financial is the biggest barrier. No surprise, right? It's expensive. So as I've worked with our team out at Jefferson, I've said, you have to first and foremost know everything about financial opportunities that we can present to a student to help them figure out how to get there. You need to be smart enough to be able to go through a worksheet and say, okay, you want to go to Dakota State. Here's the costs at Dakota State. Here's your opportunity for financial, and to understand what that bill could be. This is something kids don't get. They don't get it when they go on a college visit. They're told about opportunities, but nobody's doing the math with them. We're going to do the math with every kid that wants us to, and with their parents, because parents are the ones who are saying you can't afford it. Not all parents. So these are the kinds of things we want to work with. There's great financial opportunities for technical school through the Build Dakota Scholarship. That's a free ride if you can qualify for it. The Freedom Scholarship in South Dakota is anywhere between $4,000 and $6,000 for a kid each year. It's a great opportunity. These are also opportunities to encourage kids to stay in South Dakota, so you don't have to pay these back at all. So it's a program that we're going to spend this year learning at Jefferson how to do it, and look at our failures and successes. And then if we raise the money, we'll move it to the other 3 high schools in the district. So we would have 16 college and career advisors across those 4 high schools doing nothing but helping kids navigate their future. It's a $1.3 million program, so Steve's got a lot of work to do to get that committed. We have a great relationship. We have a memorandum of understanding written with the school district to understand how Promising Futures comes in to do this work, but that the employees are school district employees, so they can have full access to student records, access to the parents, that kind of stuff. I think this is going to be the cherry on the cake. Is that how you say it? The icing on the cake? We're going to change kids' lives in a big way. So it's not just the importance of reading, but it's the importance of saying, okay, somebody's going to sit and listen to me, in a safe space where I can explore my future without peer pressure, without parents' pressure. Our advisors are 4 of the most caring people I've ever worked with. And they are going to put their heart and soul into helping these kids navigate their future. So I'm very proud of what we're doing. I'm very excited about what we're doing. I'm excited that, in the next year, we'll be a birth to graduation organization and focused on the Sioux Falls School District. One final thing I'll say is we just made the commitment to go into Rapid City. So we're going to expand out there. We're going to start with 3 elementary schools and get our hands dirty and see if we can raise the money out there. The money that will go to the Rapid City project will all be raised in the Rapid City area. It won't be importing money from Sioux Falls out there. They don't want that. They're very parochial, in case you don't know that. They don't want some liberal guy from Sioux Falls telling them what to do. So we will have a point person out there like me who is working with the principals and the schools and the school district, as well as raising the money out there. So it took me a while to pull the trigger on that piece. But, just a quick understanding of what the Rapid City School District is like. They have 5 elementary schools that have a 100% rate of poverty. The Native American numbers are incredibly high. At one of these elementaries, it's about 70%. And so they have big challenges, and if we can help them figure out a mechanism to support those schools at a higher rate from people in the community, just like we're doing here in Sioux Falls, I'm excited that we get to do it. So I think that's everything to say. Always appreciate you guys having me and listening, and enjoy the conversation in a little bit.
Thank you, Steve, for that message, and for everything you do in our community. Now's the time when we ask for your help to do the work of our church through an offering, and half of the funds collected today will go to Promising Futures. Okay, we'll sing our third song, which is number 1021 in the Teal Book. Thank you. Words to receive the offering first. We give these gifts freely. We receive these gifts gratefully. We dedicate these gifts to the work of our congregation, serving human wholeness, caring for our planet, upholding religious freedom, welcoming the stranger, loving one another. And now, lean on me. Okay, we have a third reading, number 684. And I'll just read this from Duke T. Gray. The blessing of truth be upon us, the power of love direct us and sustain us, and may the peace of this community preserve our going out and coming in from this time forth until we meet again. Oh, Jeremy. Sorry. The chalice is extinguished, but the light goes with us out into the world.